And we are live. Hello there. How's it going? What's up, people? Welcome to a weekly gather around. And this is some kind of uh, meeting for how can I say it? What do you call it? Support group. Yes. Hi, everyone. We'll wait for some people to drop in so that we can start it off with some maybe with some questions. And I am actually hoping for someone to join the call and talk with me online through Discord, of course. And you can find the link in the description box. Let's see. Daniel, Jean, Life is Journey, Sunita, hi. Person Mind, what's up, boy? Let's see. Teresa, hello. Nalini, greetings to you all, friends. How to overcome intrusive thoughts? I suppose you mean that thoughts that you don't welcome, but they still in your mind and circulating around and taking up some valuable space. Is it that? Am I understanding you correctly? In that case, my friend, you know, um, as a instantaneous solution to that, I would suggest to drop everything off that you are doing and concentrate on your body. I mean, I guess you mean I guess you kinda mean some kind of a panic attack, but yeah, maybe take a quick breathing session like meditation or take a quick walk in the nature and try to focus on your body, on the sounds, on the visuals, not dwelling in thoughts. Thoughts are killing you, my friend. I mean, we all have them, but it's when they get out of control that we, yeah, get lost in the space. Let's see. I'm doing fine, Gene. Thank you, brother. Uh, and appreciate your kind words, Nalini. Thank you. How can you deal with being disliked? Why do you care? My question is, why do you care? I mean, of course, if you are generally a bad person, which I don't think you are, because you're trying to better yourself, right? If you're generally a bad person, yes, and then you might take a look in the mirror and um, be truthful with yourself. But I mean, there have to be people who dislike you. You cannot make everyone to be your allies. And I mean, it's a natural progression of life. Some people will like you, and some people won't. and most often than not, it's the projection of how they view themselves, rather how they view you, because they don't know you, right? So they are projecting their internal values, internal views of the world onto you, my friend. And you shouldn't bother by that. You cannot control others' thoughts about you, others' opinions about you. What you can do instead is to work towards bettering yourself each and every day. And you do it for yourself, not others. Let's see. Dinesh, good content. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Start collaborating. Yeah, I'm on my way. Um, I have some leads, and I have to admit that I haven't been as effective with hunting some leads for collaborations. But it's getting dark here in Europe, so I will blame on that. But yeah, I will do my best to get onto that as soon as possible. It's in my priority as well, actually, for the channel to grow and for me to keep things fresh. Let's see. Ryan Sobrani, how to get more control of yourself. Well, actually, there's a thing you've probably hear many self-improvement preachers tell you, that you have to learn to control your emotions, which doesn't necessarily mean to control your emotions directly, because that's impossible. Emotions are very impulsive, but what you can control is to not react at those first impulses. The moment you get the urge to react on some emotion, you have the stability, you have the control, you have your self-control on a such level that you can, like, for a split second, to freeze in your mind and tell yourself that it's not about reacting but acting rationally. It's like whenever someone, like, I can give you an example. You should never argue in relationships, um, especially in romantic ones. And that being said, it's very hard to not get caught up with that negative stream of aggression when two people are almost yelling at each other or arguing at a very high intensity. So what you do is to um, to push on that brake button and not react to those emotions, but rather think of the outcome. It's like you're calculating in your mind different scenarios and different outcomes from those scenarios. And in that case, you tell yourself, what's in it for me? What's in it for me in this case? Am I going to win something through arguing about that specific thing? And as you know, it's very seldom that the other party, the arguing party, will stop, freeze for some moment, and scratch their head and tell you, well, you think, or now that I think about it, you're right and I'm wrong. It never happens. So that's why there's no purpose in arguing. Your actions should show where you stand. So, and that control of emotions comes with experience. It doesn't happen overnight. So you have to. I would suggest to consume knowledge about people's psychology, human behavior, to learn about yourself, your own emotions, and to know when and how to act, not react. And yeah, practice makes perfect. Life is a journey. How to overcome indecisiveness? Um, it's a good question, and the thing is, there's more like indecisiveness is per se a decision making. So when you're not deciding something, you are deciding in that moment. When you cannot choose between two or three or four alternative options, and you take your time and you drag it out, you make your decision. And you have to always, in this case as well, tell yourself about the outcomes that will happen to you if you are not going to side with any alternative, with any option. And it's about having a internal dialogue, um, like you know that these things happened before. These things keep happening to you all the time, and you have to be sick and tired of not getting anywhere by dragging this out uh, and making it very like you are going through suffering when you're not deciding where you should go in life or which kind of decision you should take. So in a sense, it has to come from emotional compelling, emotionally compelling state when you know that this strategy doesn't work for you, and push yourself to take actions as you go, because those first times that you're going to push yourself to make a decision will be uncomfortable, and it takes time for a habit to become a part of your character. So that's that. Let me see if someone wants to talk to me. um, let's see. If someone wants to join me on Discord, you're very welcome. I appreciate that. It would be fun to hear some some person on the other line. Let's see. Um, and I appreciate you helping each other out in the chat or in a commentary section. That makes it more dynamic, and I actually get new perspectives. I mean, I never think that I know every answer. I might have opinions on things, but I never claim to know everything. So I would. It makes me glad to see other opinions and see different angles. Let's see. There's a good question here. How can you handle pain better? What do you mean? Do you mean emotional pain? I presume it's an emotional pain because there's no worse than emotional pain, because you cannot escape it, you cannot put a band-aid on it. the best way to handle pain is to acknowledge it and feel it, let it be. Don't try in your mind to haste the process, because the more you're trying to rush the progression of your pain, the more pain you will feel, the more pain you will suffer. And it's actually, as we know, it's the thought process, like mm, very, what do you call it? Erratic thought processes in the head. You're thinking about irrational stuff, you're making up scenarios in your mind, you're making up some fantasy pictures in your mind, and you feel bad about it. And that's a thought process. When you feel and pain is usually is a consequence of those thought processes. So the more you think, the more you try to escape that pain. The more you think, the more you prolong it. So the best way to do is to accept. It's like when you're having a cold and you're staying at your home and skipping the school or your job or whatever. You tell yourself, now I'm sick, I cannot do anything else. So I cannot go to the gym, I cannot eat properly. The best thing I can do is to accept my situation, maybe lie on my bed, watch some films, Netflix, some TV shows, whatever. So you accept your situation, and that makes it easier, much more. Uh, so the healing process uh, actually gets um, uh, it goes faster by. So accept your situation and let it be. Feel your feelings. Let's see. People are dropping some cool questions. Um, how to master stressful situations? Person mind. Well, actually, it's easier if you don't give a fuck. So the more of not giving a fuck character you have, the easier it becomes. Because I mean, stressful situations is also about how others perceive us. I mean, stress can be a positive thing. I have a video on stress actually, so you're welcome to check it out. Stress can be a positive thing. It pushes you to become more productive, but it cannot last too long. When stress lasts too long, it overcomes to a now I lose my words. It becomes a pattern, and when it becomes a pattern, it becomes habit. When it becomes a habit, then um, stress doesn't dissolve. It compiles in your body as pain that will burst some way or another. So stressful situations, like you have to acknowledge that you have a deadline, maybe, and do your best. I mean, when you're stressed, try to cook some dinner when you're stressed. It will take a longer time. It will take much longer time. And I know that it's easier to say than do, but you have to always talk to yourself. Like when you're stressed, and it's like in your mind, you'll have to say to yourself, like, wait a minute, what is it I'm stressing about? Do I have am I able to change my situation by stressing? If not, so why am I stressing? What can I do to have a better outcome of this? And also, this is as any kind of fear, because stress is basically stress basically stems from fear of failing, and fear of some kind of performance anxiety. So acknowledge it and try to make the best of the situation. And as with all fears, you have to practice. Like approaching a person somewhere for to ask someone out on a date or something like that. It's also fear. You will be rejected many times before you can master the art of not caring about the rejection, because ultimately rejection is not about you, as most fears, because they are not rational in this day and age. Let's see. Danny here. Punch the ones that don't like you in the shoulder or the chest and say, "How do you like me now, bitch?" Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I know that you're kidding, but I mean, punching people, showing signs of aggression is actually, how can I put it? I mean, if you're very masculine and stable in yourself, you don't you don't show emotions. So whenever you show emotions, doesn't matter in what way, uh, it displays weakness. I mean, as a man, because um, we are very much uh, watched by the surroundings and judged by how we carry ourselves. That's why it's important to have a masculine energy, masculine frame. Uh, is there anyone waiting? No. Someone wants to talk to me in Discord? Let's see. Start posting on Reddit. Would like to read your post. Well, maybe you could, Dinesh. Maybe you could suggest me some threads where I can post things. Um, Khalil Shakur. The book called Emotional Intelligence. Never read that. Maybe I should look into that. Thank you for the suggestion. Dinesh, exam in 5 weeks. Not prepared, lacking motivation to study. Advice how to be positive. The best way to get the motivation back is to visualize where you're going. Sometimes, I mean, like, it's not just me, but it's a known fact that you have to enjoy the ride. And many of us go through periods of life where we don't enjoy things that we do, especially especially going to school or university or college or something, because you never um, attend programs that you thought they would be as. So they throw in a lot of BS courses, and you end up learning about stuff that you don't care about. So my advice would be to visualize the end goal, even if it's not uh, preferable, because as I said before, you have to enjoy the journey. And visualizing the end goal is like, you know, seeing going from point A and to point B and not enjoying the middle ground, but the middle ground is where the life happens. But for now, because you don't enjoy this and it's temporary, you know that it's temporary, so you have to visualize the end goal, and that may put a smile on your face and make it easy for you to keep pushing. I hope it helps. Let's see. Tips about high school. Um, can you be specific, please? Jerry the boss. What kind of tips do you want me to give you? Try to have fun. That's my only tips in high school because you're still a kid. I presume not. I'm not trying to be condescending here, but I mean, I know for a fact when I was a kid in my 20s, early 20s as well. So, I mean, it's a paramount that you have fun going through life and create memories that you will be energized of. So, create memories, have some fun, and maybe barely visualize what would you like or where you do see yourself in near future. um, let's see. Uh, Emotional pain takes longer to heal. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there can be moments in your life, very intense moments in your life that can be like just a couple of months, but they're very intense and create a lot of anxiety for you, and you end up processing those emotions and feeling the pain and trying to get over that period of your life for maybe a year or more. So emotional pain definitely takes much longer time to heal. Dorde, is it always good to make a joke of a receiving insult? Ah, shit. Peeps, can you hear me? I'm lagging a bit. I hope you hear me. Do you hear me? Man, I'm lagging now. Can you hear me? Yo, people, can you hear me? Good. Let's see. So there was a great question from Dorda. Is it always good to make a joke of receiving insult? Yeah, definitely. When you're lighthearted, when you're easygoing, it shows that you don't care, and that's the ultimate weapon. Because if people get you wind up, if people can wind you up, then it means uh, that they can get you emotionally, and that's their primary objective. So by making a joke of the insult, you show that you don't care, and why should you? They can carry on with their own negativity and release you from that from their unwanted presence. Especially, this is especially good in dating as well. When you're getting tested, or someone picks on you, someone gets testy with you, you just joke it off and laugh it out. The best tactic. That's not what I'm asking. Most of the time, we need to make a joke of an insult, but when it is time to go in argument, arguing, not emotion. Блядь, что так? Let's see. Um, I'm having some connection issues. I don't know if you can. Что такое? I'm experiencing some issues here. Can you hear me? Okay, let's carry on then. Um, let's see. Danny here, just kidding. Allows stay peaceful and carry joy in your heart, but be mentally and physically able to respond to violence. Uh, Sic Visayan pacem parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Exactly. You know those moments when you're like going, passing by someone who looks very mean, Danny, and you're making up scenario in your head, like if he says this and I will say that, and he will start arguing, and I will punch him in the face and stuff like that. But those moments never happen. Uh, Jerry, you have to take it easy in school. It's not that serious. And I guess you're a teenager, Jerry the boss. And yeah, I know the feeling. I mean, I've been there, and it's not that easy when you dislike when you dislike people, when you dislike your teachers. I've been there, and you're trying to avoid them as much as possible. Still experiencing some issues. Um, yeah, Jerry, take it easy. I mean, have some plan of what you're trying to accomplish. in school and where you're seeing yourself in near future. Don't um, don't make it hard on yourself, because you will have consequences if it down the line if you keep being uncooperative, if that's a word. What's your advice against bullies, Ryan? My advice: you have to show character with your body language. Maybe hit the gym. Of course, it won't happen overnight, but yeah, cultivate more masculinity by lifting weights, doing some physical activities, and improve your posture, improve your body language. You will be surprised how less you get tested by others through having a very good posture, very masculine posture as a guy. People don't mess with you, even in crowds, even in shady places. And you have a very serious facial expression. You have a good posture. I mean, stick your chest out, retract your shoulders, and walk very slowly. Don't look somebody in the eyes. You don't have to. Just see where you're going, and don't be afraid to protect yourself, to defend yourself. I mean, if physical, when it gets physical, there, it's exactly where you should draw the line. I mean, I don't care who you are. You have to deserve the respect. You won't get it. You have to deserve it. And by having this confident posture, confident gait, you will signal that you shouldn't be messed around with. Let's see. Hello, Mariah. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, it was lagging. It's fine now. Thank you. Yeah, something was off with my internet, but I think it's okay for now. Um, which country are you from? I live in Europe for now. You'll be notified um, about my whereabouts later on. I promise. Let's see. Is there someone who wants to take a call? Now I'm sounding like a broken record, but come on, guys. Step up, show some confidence. Arvin, hey man, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I wanted to ask you something. I got rejected by this girl, and moving on, and movies on, and I was talking to other girls at my work, but she's jealous and asks me if I am dating another girl. Uh, you mean that, Arvin? Can you clarify that? You mean that you got rejected by one girl, Then you switched your focus onto another girl, but the first girl got jealous about the second girl. Is it right? Uh, yeah, Mariah, there's a possibility to call in. That's why it's a call in show. If you check the description box, you may find a link where you can get an access to that software that I am using. I mean, we have a group there, so we can talk and have some laugh and maybe get enlightened. Well, Arvin, let me tell you something about women. So, to repeat his question, Arvin asked, "What's the deal with the girl that rejected him but became jealous because he was interested in another girl?" The thing is, the first girl found something off-putting with you, and she wrote you off as being undesirable. But the second moment some other girl gave you some time of day, she started doubting herself. She started thinking maybe there's something to this Arvin guy. Maybe I should have given him a chance. I should have given him a chance. And that's why she becomes jealous. I mean, on the contrary to the popular belief, the more girls you have, the more girls will want you. So keep doing what you're doing, and you will get results. Because we ultimately want things that we cannot have, and we want things that everyone wants. I mean, that's the thing with celebrities, you know. There there are people as more people as we are, but but I mean, majority of fans adore them and put them on the pedestal. You know, same thing. The more people like you, the more people will like you, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Yeah, Danny. Sic vis pacem parabellum. Prepare for war. I'm actually. I have a book that I. There's a book that I want to read. I will do it later on. But yeah, books on war are very good. Strategizing for life, for sure. Let's see. We are 16 in the 16 viewers. Are there any more questions or someone wants to talk to me? Otherwise, I think I will cut it off here. We are 44 minutes in. What do you say, guys? No? Well, okay then. Arvin, you're funny, man. Don't forget my name. You won't stop seeing me here. Thanks, I will continue to do that. By the way, the first girl was always physical with me, kissing me, hunting me always. Very bizarre girl. Actually, Arvin, it's not bizarre. It's like you what what dudes don't understand is that women have totally different way of communicating, and because they're not communicating in the same manner as we men do, it doesn't mean that they're bizarre. It just means that they're different. I assure you, women think exactly same thing about us men. They think that we are backwards and and don't understand anything. So the more you, the more attention you give without getting anything back, the more you lose. So you have to, so you have to spread your, don't put all of your eggs in the same basket, if you know what I mean. So be very vigilant. Don't give all of your attention away for free. Uh, Attention is the coin in the realm of femininity. Let's see. Well, you're welcome to join the call, Mariah. Um, no question, no complaint, just caressing the moment. Thank you. Oh, blessings. Blessings to you too, Nalini. Very glad to see you here. Prajwal Sharma, what are your thoughts on spirituality? I mean, um, if you haven't noticed yet, my my content have been a mixture of spirituality and logical, straight out philosophy. On maybe part of it from Stoicism and part of it from Buddhism. I mean, spirituality is very important, but many people on, especially on YouTube that I see, they go too far in exploring. Like there are different stuff about these stones and being indigo child and chakras and stuff like that. Um, I haven't explored that part, and to be honest, it doesn't appeal to me because I don't want, like, all those things are extra barriers towards getting to the truth. If you understand what I'm trying to say, we don't need any um, concepts. We don't need any identities in order to go straight to the go straight to the for the truth. So these extra things are only uh, putting putting us at a larger distance from the truth. So I don't like those kind of things, but I think spirituality as I don't know if you're familiar with uh, Jiddu Krishnamurti. I like his way of doing things, or how he was doing it, because he wasn't calling it spirituality. He wasn't calling it for nothing. It was plain logic, exploring life as it is. So that's my approach to it. Yes. So yeah, that's why I see people like, it's like I don't want to talk bad about anyone. I mean, they're welcome to explore whatever they want to explore. But in my opinion, in my personal opinion, there's too much juju, magic, voodoo stuff going on in the spiritual community. So yeah, I hope it clarifies my point, my stance on it. Let's see. The truth. So, who writes the truth? This is from Sasha. Where is it to be found? How do you know you find it in your perspective? That's a very good question. I mean, the truth is both subjective and objective. I think I've mentioned it in some video recently, but objective is what the truth is. Subjective can be the way of getting there. So, I mean, for example, your way of getting to the truth and my way are totally different, but arriving at truth at the same destination. Like, I don't want to call it destination because it's not an end point and like voila and there we are and that's it. But you cannot know truth logically. You may try to explain it, I think, but the truth has to be known. The truth has to be felt. I know it may sound kind of strange, but that's it. I mean, you can describe what you feel when you feel pain or when you feel love or when you feel affection, but and I can tell you that I feel empathetic because I've felt those exact same feelings as you, but not really because your feelings are your feelings and your interpretation is in one way, and my interpretation can vary or can differ from yours, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, intuitive aspect, of course, but I mean, yet again, there's this. Yeah, I don't want to call it concept, but I mean, being enlightened, being becoming enlightened is actually about feeling the truth, and that's exactly how it goes. You have to feel it. No one can tell you. You cannot learn it. You cannot read it somewhere. You have to feel it. But I think it takes like a personal exploration. You have to like give it time because to find truth, you have to be stripped from thought processes and just try to be in the present moment and try to understand. But as you know, it's almost impossible for most people in this world because we need to eat food and thus shackle down ourselves to become owned by someone else. I mean, maybe it sounds harsh, but that's what we are. We're working for other people to get food. So, yeah, maybe I will do some video on truth in the future. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to explore it more than I would like to. Um, I will make some changes to the channel from next year, so I can get more spare time to start to read books again, which I haven't done in a very long time. So yeah, maybe we can explore this topic together. Great question, Sasha. Let's see. Hello, MC. You are in the house. Can you hear me? Also, why Friday nights? Don't you think more people would join if it wasn't a Friday night? Yeah, you would think you would think that because I did a poll and majority of people. I mean, I wouldn't like to say majority, but like 42% of people voted for Friday and like 30 something for Sunday. What do you think? When should we do this live streaming? Give me suggestions. I'm open for anything. MC. I'm waiting for MC to talk to me, but there's no response. Let's see. Um, you should do book reviews. Maybe, maybe. We'll see what happens in the future. I would like to actually explore more of the creative part of content creation. I think I've mentioned it in a previous live stream that I like very much the film process, filming, cinema. So, but yeah, maybe book reviews if you would like that. So you say weekends, people. Would you like to have these streams on Sundays, maybe? Would you like me to make up another poll?
Right.
We are approaching 1 hour mark. If Mariah doesn't join in a couple of minutes, I'm afraid I have to cut it off. No, I'm just kidding. Good questions, people. I like the way you think. Let's see. Maybe you could give me some suggestions about the way I present my content. Do you think that it's very monotonous? It becomes uh, it becomes very yeah, monotonous. I mean, um, you've probably noticed that I try to change it up a bit with how I present. Like I cut down on visuals, but yeah, I mean, of course, I understand that people want to see maybe things happening in more dynamical circumstances, like me walking down the road or something like that. But yeah, I would like to hear your suggestions about how you, in what way you enjoy consuming content. Not just mine. I mean, what kind of video do you watch? Mariah, you are muted. You know that, right? I think you're muted. Um, you have to. Let's see. Do you have a microphone? Yo, this is not the way it was supposed to happen. Can you hear me? I said that this wasn't the way it should have happened. You can join the yeah. Let's see. Can you? Yeah, I hear you. You joined the wrong wrong tab, I think. Could you? You were at the right place, but you were muted. No, no, no. I can hear you now, but I mean, let's see. Why can I? People, can you hear us? I I wonder. Do you hear me? I wonder if others can hear us. Yeah, but in that, if so, then maybe I should end the stream. That's what I'm asking. Let me see. What? Maybe you did. Wait a second. Just a minute. Can anybody hear us? Ah, okay. So, let's see. Um, did you get? Ah. Yeah, there's a caller in the air, but on the air, but I'm trying to get her to the right spot. Let's see. This is tricky. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, ah. um, can you see the tab called Hossein Advisory on the left side? Okay, so join that and choose the stream event talk. Do you see like there are a lot of hashtags? Exactly. So push there. Push talk. Click on talk. But click on yeah. So do you hear me now? No. Come back. Come back. You were at the right place. Let's see. Go back to talk. Stream event and stay there. Stream event and then click on talk. Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear us, people? You can hear me, right? Yeah. So let's see if someone hears us. No, actually not. It was like a clickbait, maybe. Yeah. So every time I comment on others' videos, so that it's wait. Let me try this one thing. Just a second. You hear me?
Master of the universe.
Do you hear us, people?
Can you hear them?
Wait.
Maybe there's gaming masters that can figure this out.
They should hear us now.
Hello? We can only hear you, someone said. Put it on a speaker.
We can only hear you. Why is that?
Hello?
I mean,
Which you?
do you hear both of us?
Hello? There's Arvin. I see an Arvin. Yes. I have my volume down, so I can't really talk.
Yes,
Hello?
they hear you.
Oh,
They hear you.
Hello?
Talk to me.
Hey. All right. Finally, maybe this will all work. So how long has your channel been up? I mean, really, I never go back and look.
You should know because you said that you were following
Or
me
was it
since 700.
700?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before, like the early chats and stuff, the early shows.
I started the channel in January.
In January?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I
5th.
found you in February.
Come again?
That's pretty fast. 7,600.
Yeah, but yeah. Actually, I should have been satisfied because my initial plan or goal or aim was 5,000 in 1 year.
Woo! We didn't have a party, huh?
But then when I saw that my commenting strategy was working quite good.
It was pretty good. You're good at fishing those other channels. Like that's where I found you. Who's this person? He's like the master fisherman for unwanted souls and like people in distress. That's what I really found you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my comments are like hit or miss. There are people who hate me, and there are
Uh-huh.
people who become enticed.
Yeah, I really have a confession to make. When I first started watching your shows, I thought it was like and I've got nothing against, about people, but I thought it was live for young adults. And it was really funny because a lot of the things you said were hit me, and it was nostalgic. It was familiar, like you just the music you played, and that was really a good thing.
A
And then
young,
I think a lot of the younger people are doing this retro stuff. Like they love that. They didn't grow up with the '90s music being original, and it's funny that that's coming back around. So you're doing really well.
you mean what do you mean by retro?
Like your denim jacket. Come on.
It's just a jacket. There was no thought behind it.
It is like, oh, my high school or something. That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, I was just having props
Oh.
uh, by any means necessarily.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. And then someone had mentioned book reviews.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Do you
That would
think
be
I
neat. You
should have
seem
it?
like you really read a lot.
I haven't. I've been very bad at that because, yeah,
You're,
because
you're lazy.
no, not lazy because I was fully focused on YouTube and
Hmm.
like that commenting thing takes a soul out of one. So
It's I imagine. I think it's
yeah,
probably
but
pretty hard.
I'm not complaining. I mean, whatever it takes. And at some point, I realized that I have to take a step back and maybe try to regroup my thoughts and gain new knowledge and present the new learnings as I go to people who are interested.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's wonderful.
So
That's
I
wonderful.
have made a list of books that I want to read now. I will start to read, but I mean, not to blame on other stuff, but I mean,
Reading takes so much time, but I thought that would be something that people could, share. I don't know. Club. Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
it takes time, but when you're interested in the subjects that you're reading about, it really goes fast because I mean, before starting this channel, I was
Mm-hmm.
reading quite a lot, yes, but not that much that one could think maybe. But I uh, mix it with longer video formats like podcasts.
Uh-huh.
I want to see some debates as well. I like seeing debates, so I can
Uh-huh.
like because when you just consume material from one person, you can easily become biased.
Well, maybe that's where your fishing tactic really set your channel apart. I noticed that as this year has passed, that and in your membership grown, and then also with your fishing comments, that you've started to collect your own, your own movement of things, and I think that's really powerful because I mean that's the community that you have on YouTube, collectively. We have so and so over here doing no fab, or got so and so over here talking about I don't know what it's called. Men go their own way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or what is that red pill stuff? I really just got on your channel to like studying masculinity.
Why is
And
that?
why?
Yeah.
Like I
Do you
had a
recognize a lot of
man.
masculinity in yourself?
Yeah, well, I had a man that told me, he fell in love with my masculine heart. And I'm like, what? I didn't know what he was talking about. I had no clue. And so, as the relationship evolved and limped off into the horizon, I was left with that. And I was like, what do you do with that kind of observation? So I found you and your earlier works, and it was really helpful in understanding what masculinity is, from a man's point of view. Because I get that
um,
helpful.
yeah, I mean, I I dare to say that
No, you.
I dare to say that um, there's a um, some way, in any way, there's a one, at least one masculine type that could overpower the most masculine woman. I mean, and at the end of the day, I think that's what she seeks. Someone,
As the
someone
self.
who could take
What?
the lead, if I could put that.
Oh.
But
Hmm.
yeah, in this day and age, I mean, they're more feminine men than anything else.
When I think about, those polarities of male and female, and then, going through my own process of healing, or not necessarily healing, but just being alive. You orient yourself to a foundation, find self, and you start that journey of life. And I see that being masculine in a male form, it's smallest. It's 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 delicate. It's a delicate femininity that really gives a man strength. That's what I see when I think about it. And
I,
it's like the tiniest open window that a woman that knows well enough can look into. It's like his backside. It's like knowing that person's, the little dragon scale. And oftentimes I think men protect that because it is a female part of them that leaves them vulnerable. And maybe that's the vulnerability you talk about from a feminine side
yeah, I mean,
about men in
vulnerability
general.
is very dragged on topic because I mean it's celebrated in every mainstream media possible, and
Hmm.
they say that men should be able to show vulnerability, which
But
is
that's exploited. That's exploited from a society that manipulates it.
yes, yes,
Wait, and so a society that manipulates male's femininity for the benefit of itself is what you're talking about when it comes to looking at men being feminized. And
exactly.
that's completely manipulative. It's completely horrible.
Yes, but
And so,
manipulated man is easy to control.
well, and the way that I understand let's say, this viewpoint of our condition collectively, I would say, is I'm Native American, and so when I'm looking at my own social well-being or my own social structures, completely, eradicated, completely new. And so I think that's why I use a lot of YouTube and stuff. But from the way that I understand masculinity in reality of social order is that it is really powerful. There's nothing stronger than a male with a true heart and initiative for betterment of himself and his family or any collective. So in my own cultural way, understanding that the annihilation of a people is the weakening of that man. Like
Yeah.
when a man loses his heart.
Yeah,
When a
but the
man
thing
loses
is,
his
a
heart,
masculine.
they lose everything.
The thing is, a masculine man is perceived as an enemy to society as a whole, because a masculine man is not
Yes,
a
as a manipulative society.
yeah, but I mean, societies have to be manipulated. I mean, no person in their straight mind wants to participate in building up civilizations, because building up civilizations means
Trusting one
slavery.
another. Only if they're weak.
Yeah, man. I mean, somebody has to sacrifice something if they want to build civilization.
Hmm. Historically.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's no way around. If you want to build something, someone has to be sacrificed. Yeah, I mean, look at the Egyptians, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do you think they built those pyramids?
I understand that Ramses II tricked his people into the betterment of their own culture. I
Yeah,
think so.
exactly. Whose betterment? I mean, we always talk about next generations, but who will talk about us in the current generation of the about the current generation?
Mm-hmm. Life a Journey says the problem today is lack of masculinity.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this talk about like toxic masculinity here and there. I mean, it's not about the toxic masculinity. It's about lacking masculinity.
Uh-huh.
So we can talk about this topic hours and hours. I mean, maybe for the
Yeah.
next time,
No. Yeah.
because
I was just reading the comments, maybe.
yeah, I mean, because what society tells is not what actually happens. I mean, society has preached for women to get to become empowered, and in
Mm-hmm.
actuality, they mean that women should become men. That's what they preach.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, working as hard as men and providing as hard as much as men, and so what is the difference?
Well, again, I come from a Native American culture where there was balance and order.
Yeah,
There
yeah. I mean,
wasn't. There wasn't.
let's not get mistaken. I mean, it's not about doing same things equally. It's about doing different things very great, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
balance.
and that's not what current society um, propagate
Mm-hmm.
builds their propaganda about. I mean,
Yeah.
they're telling. So basically, yeah, we're going against the nature. I mean,
Yeah.
and in that way, actually, like because we build this ourselves, so maybe it's a part of nature. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it may be a part of
That
nature, but it's not healthy way of.
that's kind of where I watch your channel to see where you're evolving with these kind of topics. So it's pretty exciting to be
Yeah.
able to watch all of that happen. Whether you're whether we're watching other channels or watching your comments stuff.
I
So I
mean,
mean, and it's only been a year.
yeah, and I could talk about more controversial stuff, but I don't want to mess with YouTube, so not now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah,
Especially, it seems
I
like you
will
have
do
a lot of
in
young people that need help.
I will do that in a different format when I have enough influence.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I have to cut this off
I
here.
think so too. We could talk for hours.
Yeah, I hope some people may find this interesting, and I would encourage those who are watching for now to do the same, to join the Discord so we can talk more. Thank you very much, Mariah. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.
No.